Hi everyone. In this example, I want to show you how you can use fuzzy matching on Excel as well as Power Query. There was a survey done by Gartner about 10 years back, which said that poor data quality is a primary reason for 40% of all business initiatives to fail achieving the targeted benefits. And this could not be more true today as well. Due to the fact that we are capturing more data, it also means that a lot of it is semi-structured. And the rapidity at which we are capturing data means that we do not really have the time to clean it. And having better tools and better technology doesn't really mean that we are capturing data more accurately. So we have a data set here. The customer database has the names and the IDs of the customer. And then the transaction table has the number of transactions that has happened, as well as the sales amount. Now, if you look carefully, you will notice that we have a Catherine Murray that is purchased worth 158. And then the Catherine Murray is coming one more time here, and then a final time here. But if you look carefully, there is a R that is missing here. It should be Murray with a double R, but here we have an R. Now you can always argue and say, why has the data been captured like this? Why is there a spelling mistake? Of course, it's something which has happened inadvertently by accident. Your logic can be that why are we not using the ID, which is what ideally should have been captured in the transaction? But you know as well as I do that there are many reasons for us not to capture data accurately. And we will have this problem happening all the time. People work in silos, data is being captured by different systems, there is legacy data, and there are human errors that creates all these problems for us. So what I would like to do here is to understand that for all of these transactions that we have, who is the right person? So who do I attribute this 158 sales to? Which customer ID? Let's have a look. You can see that the second table is called table 2, and the first table is called table 1. First, you will need Fuzzy Lookup, which is a free add-in available by Microsoft. To download it, you can simply Google Fuzzy Lookup and look at the very first link that comes up, and it's a free download. It's a very small download and a free download. Do keep in mind that after installing it, you will have to close Excel and restart it. And once you do that, the Fuzzy Lookup add-in will come here. When I click on Fuzzy Lookup, you can see that it is selecting the two tables. So we have the left table and we have the right table. Now, because my fact table, my transactional data is in the second table, I'm going to choose table 2 as the left table and then table 1 as the right table. You can see that we have two columns on each side. So we will select names in the transaction table and then names also in the customer database. After you have done that, we will click on this binding button. And finally, we will select the output columns. So I'm choosing all the 4 columns. So that would be the table 2 name, table 2 sales, table 1 ID, and the table 1 name. And very important, you should select the Fuzzy Lookup similarity as well. For now, I'm not going to tinker with all the other things. Let's get the result and then let's see why we need to have the other parameters that we manipulate. Let's just select a blank cell and click on Go. Now you will notice here that Catherine Murray with a single R and Catherine Murray with a double R is coming as a 95% similarity. And an Aaron Bergman with a BA and an Aaron Bergman with a BE is coming as a 97% similarity. But the problem is that a Craig rater is not getting picked up. And the reason is that the Craig rater that we have is quite different to what we have in the database. Here it is a Craig rater with a REITER, and here we have a RATER. And the reason this has not got picked up, even though they are similar, if not the same, is because you have set the similarity threshold to 50%. That's why this is in the center. So let us change that threshold. Let me undo and then decrease this to about 12, 0.12. And one more time, we will click on go. And this time you notice that it is getting picked up. It says that it is 86% similar, which is quite useful. But there's one more problem. If you notice, Craig is coming 2 times. There happen to be 2 Craigs in the customer database. We have 48580 as one of the IDs and then 25366. And if you look here, it is picking 48580, right? So each time that Craig is going to come here, it's picking up 48580 and not 25366. Now, how are you going to know which one of the Craigs this is? That you will have to do manually. But then we don't really have the second Craig in the result at all. And we would like to do that, right? So let me undo and then set the number of matches to 2. Once again, we click on go. And this time you notice that it is able to tell me that Craig can be matched 2 times. So let me just do it one more time. All right, so we will select go. And if you notice here, we are getting Craig 2 times, which would be here. So we're getting once with 48580 and once with 25366. Yes, it's not a perfect approach, but it's the best that you have. And the problem here is that even a Mick Brown and a Rick Hansen, which are 39% similar, will get picked up, but that's okay because you can always cancel out that result. And of course, the threshold you can play around with and make it a little lesser or a little more till you feel you're getting the result that you wanted. Once again, remember, this is not a science, it's an art. The more you use it, the better you will understand how to derive the best out of it. Let me also apply a conditional formatting here, color scale, and very neatly, you can see we have the perfect matches, the very close to perfect matches, and the matches that are quite different to each other. Let me show you the same thing on Power Query as well. First, I am going to select my table, go to data, and then click on from selection so that this table gets sent to Power Query. So you can see we have the table here. Let me close and load. Let's come back. And we have our ID and names. Let's select the second table and then let us send this to Power Query as well. All right, now let's rename them so that we know what these are. So this is my dim ID and this is my fat sales. Perfect. So we select our sales table, we go to home and then merge queries. And here we can select the second table, which is dim ID. Select the 2 matching columns, which would be names and names. We will do a left outer join and we will select fuzzy matching. Let's go through the options. Here again, we have the similarity threshold. I'll set it to 0.20. And it tells us that this is the option that indicates how similar the two values need to be. Minimum of 0 will cause all the values to match, and a 1 means only exact matches. Default is at 0.8. You do have some other options as well. For example, if you want to combine two parts of a word, let us say micro and soft become Microsoft, you can do that as well. And then you have the maximum number of matches option. Let's set it to 2 as well. Here we have the additional option of a transformation table, but we'll not get into that. Let's click on OK, expand the table, and we want to look at both the ID and the name. As you can see, it is not giving us a similarity value, but it is able to hint to us that a Craig here, which has a sales of 101, is probably the same as the Craig Reader with an employee with a customer ID of 48580. And here as well, the Craig Reader with the 101 has probably the employee ID of 25366. Yes, it would have been nicer to have that value as well with you, but then you do have that option on Excel, right? So here you notice we don't have that option. It just matches it for you. But of course, you can manipulate the threshold to any number you want to get better results. What we are doing here is called approximate string matching. So this is something we use in programming, and it's a very, very detailed topic. And how it works in Excel, we will not really get into. But this is not really something which you can manipulate in Excel any which way. So what you have on Excel and Power Query is the basic, simple way of doing it. And if it helps you, great. If it doesn't help you, there's not really much you can do about it. But from my experience, I've had very good results with it, as long as you don't expect the world from it. Be realistic, and even if it can help you 40, 50, 60, 70% of the way, I think that's a good way to think about it.